Hello, hello. I think I'm gonna turn the music down a smidge. Doot, doot, doot. Might be too quiet, but oh well. Oh hey, there's my Nightbot doing the thing. Yeah, new little text bubbles. I finally dished out a little bit of money to get a custom CSS. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I'll need to remember to put the credit down below. So anyway, hello. Today we are doing a virtual artist alley or dealer's den if we're going the furry con route. Oh, the big thing is that I'm having a sale, 30% off. I pinned it up there. This is probably like the biggest sale I'm doing ever. Well, not ever. I mean, so far. So yeah, and a lot of these the items will not be restocked. So if you wanted to get them now. Oh, and sadly, this is only US, Canada. Apologies. There is a 40% off sale on imprint, and they do international shipping. I don't handle any of that. It's just my images. What? YouTube ate the whole text except for a emote at the end? Wait a second. Let me see. Oh, weird. Okay. Was that something with like your chat thing, or just it happened as you typed it in? It might be, I don't know. It might be Nightbot, I don't know. Oh yeah, and then as you can see, my little sandwich board down below, shop sale, 30% off. Yep, coupon code November 23rd. Alright, and this is my first just chatting stream, so it might not go for very long. I don't know how much, how much I have to talk about. But I'm planning on making this into a video later. So yeah, I don't know if I'll use footage. We'll see. But I'll see if I have any ideas. Oh, it just like automatically made an emoji. I think Twitch does that too. But yeah, welcome. I don't think I said hi to y'all. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. I feel like there was one more thing I was gonna do. Oh, I was gonna test this new Q&A thing with the chat. I wonder if I've never used it before. So let's see. Q&A. Ask anything about conventions and selling. Smiley face. Okay. Alright. So I think that's that. Go back to the live chat. I have no idea what just happened. Oh no, did it get rid of my chat? Oh, wait, no. It's back. Okay, what the heck? It's all new stuff. Hi, Husius! I'm fighting for my life against jet lag to be here. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, jet lag. Yeah, because you traveled across the international date line. I remember one time I came back from Japan, and I think it was like Sunday at 1 p.m. and I landed in Portland at Sunday at 1 p.m. or like 2 p.m. Yeah, no, the jet lag is crazy. But yeah, I'm glad you had a good trip. Japan is so exciting. A little jealous. Alright, so yeah, so this is just like gonna be kind of like a panel. A little bit more casual than the panel because I'm just gonna be chatting with y'all. Stream setup is really cute. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Welcome. Yeah, I'm really excited about these new chat bubbles. Just decided to spice up the stream a little bit. Alright. Oh, and I also linked a video on where you can get merch made. I also talked about like how to sign up to cons, budget, displays. If you have any further questions regarding that, that video is available. It's a little old. You actually see my face instead there. But yeah. Alright, so... Okay. I really quickly wanted to talk about the differences between conventions. Oh, I also wanted to do a poll. Let me see. Start a poll. We have too many things are like on the top bar. Have you been to a convention? Or have you sold? I don't know. Charcoal. Maybe like my thing is gonna disappear for a bit. And oh yeah, and also if any of y'all, I'm pretty sure, I know some of y'all sell in the audience, so if there's anything y'all want to like add, yeah, feel free to type it in. This is just my take, my experience. Alright, so yeah, main differences between conventions. So I have done furry cons, I've done like 1.5 anime cons, 1.5. I'll get into that, why it's a half later, and comic conventions. They're pretty similar as far as like, but there's like a few minor differences. Hold on. Alright. So for anime cons, like obviously it's mostly anime and anime-esque fan art. I have seen like more indie stuff, but it's like more Japan influences and like anime art style influences. I tried to sell that one and I did okay. Ironically, I found out that the majority of the audience that was there saw me at a furry convention, and so I was like, oh, well, I should just sell at furry conventions then. I don't know what I'm doing in an anime con. I guess I was getting a little bit of FOMO because I was like, I really like anime and it's awesome, but I guess I really don't do much anime. And then like anime cons and comic cons are very similar in the sense like you show up, you get your badge, and you cosplay usually. Rarely do I see original character cosplays, and then there's furry cons. And now one of the cool things I thought with furry cons was the custom badges that people do of their own characters. So that's like a commission idea that some people can do, or yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. I wish like anime cons or something like started to do that. It's really, I think it's fun. And then let me see, what else? I'm gonna think here. Oh, the names of the selling areas. So typically it is Artist Alley is just like, yeah, usually smaller businesses for Comic Cons and anime cons. So you go to the Artist Alley and like it's folks like, I don't know, like me. Whereas fur cons, they call it a dealer's den. And they have an Artist Alley, but it's like usually either you just sell one day out of like the 3 days, or it's like a lottery system. There's just less stakes and the tables are cheaper. So yeah, sometimes, yeah, that's the confusing part, that they're both called Artist Alley, but they both mean something slightly different. I wish OC cosplays were more popular. Right? That would be so cool. Yeah, no. And I feel like it would make more of a market for commissions for more people to have anime OCs, at least in the like the anime, what you call it, fandom. Alright. So I mean, that's as far as I could tell for the differences. If anybody wants to add anything, yeah, feel free to let me know. Oh, and there's more virtual cons now too, especially with COVID. And like VR chat has, like, I know there are some conventions with that. I'm trying to remember what the name was, but I'm totally spacing. But yeah, so you can like go into the VR world and go to the convention. The thing that's a little tricky about that is that you can only stay in one instance, so like not, like the server would crash if everyone was in the same instance. So, but still, that's really close to a convention experience without leaving your house. And then, like, you don't necessarily have to have a VR headset to use VR chat. And then, I remember CozyCon. I don't remember if they existed before COVID, but it's like... Well, I haven't attended in a while, but they hosted it on Discord, but then they also had a Twitch channel where they would have people come in and do panels. Yeah, Catman actually did a panel. I'm trying to recall which one it was. Like, I watched all your streams, so I can't remember exactly. Oh, I think you did the animal cookies, right? Yeah, that was really fun. So yeah, virtual conventions. Oh, I think CozyCon was started in response to COVID. Okay, yeah. And I think it's really cool. So at the time, I didn't stream, so like I wasn't like, I didn't see too much, but I don't know, maybe next year I'll try to see if I can get in. The Yarn Tales stream, and the next one was Amblebees. Oh, okay, right, you did too. Yeah. So yeah, it's a cool way to share the convention experience if you can't travel or attend large events. Alright, now I want to go about the pros and cons about selling at conventions. Thank you. So I feel like the pros would definitely be to meet your audience, even if you've never, like even if you don't have a huge audience like on social media, you still meet a lot of people, like maybe like new people who are like, oh, I really like your art, I'm gonna buy it. And so like that's really cool to see like people's reactions to your art and stuff. You also get to travel depending how far you go. I thought that was really cool. There's some good and bad things. I remember being a little bit salty when I went to Reno. I was like, it's really hard to get good coffee here. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I feel like our coffee is our thing. So that was one thing that was a little bit of a silly first world problem adjustment. Oh, and you get to meet other artists, so like they're great networking events. Now, me as an introvert, that was really like a struggle. I feel like definitely the people who benefit most of doing conventions are extroverts or like more ambivert people, because yeah, being able to network is a huge thing, and like just having the energy to go to all these events. Whereas like me, like I tried to do stuff, but after a while I'm like, I sold stuff, I closed my booth, it's time to go to my room, take a shower, and just like chill. Maybe watch like TV or something. So yeah, I did force myself to go to like dances and like some parties, but and like I don't regret it, but it's not something that I can sustainably hold up for very long. Alright, and oh, and also, yeah, one of the biggest pros about conventions is I mean, at least in my experience, there is like no other way to get rid of a huge chunk of your merch at one time. And like this could also be a bit of a double-edged sword, because if you're a small artist like me, it is kind of hard to move your merch online, but once you're in person, it is a lot easier. So just something to keep in mind. Alright, let's talk about the cons of cons. So as I said, it's kind of difficult if you're an introvert. Yeah, it can be very energy draining. I don't know what happened, but like my last few conventions, I actually started getting panic attacks. Like, don't let that deter you, but just something to keep in mind if you easily get overstimulated, because oh my goodness, the overstimulation, it really exists. There's just like, oh yeah, that's the other thing. The main difference about me chilling here in this little table is that I don't have to shout at you. Because that was another thing, just like there's just constant like noise, because of course people are just chilling in like the dealer's den or artist alley, and so people are going to be talking and stuff, so there's just like a constant like drone of voices that you have to like talk over. So yeah, that's definitely another thing with overstimulation. Oh, they're also very expensive. I mean, if you've never done a convention, I definitely recommend doing more like, if you don't have a convention in your town, you'll probably have like a craft show or something, like a holiday bazaar, and that is how I started. And it was a very valuable experience, I think, before like jumping into a, let's say, I don't know, 10,000 attendee convention. So yeah, and then that way you don't have to pay for lodging. I mean, you already have to pay for food for yourself anyway, so the food is not a huge deal, and then your travel costs are probably just going to be a little bit of gas money or like public transit. Alright. Oh yeah, so yeah, I guess that's all I kind of had. Let me see. Good place to check for craft fairs are nursing homes and schools. Yeah, my first craft show was, yeah, it was in elementary school. I remember I took $200. I was very proud. It was my very first one. Is it sustainable for Forever? No, probably not. But I mean, I think my table was like $15 and my gas fee was, I don't know, not a lot. So it made sense for that. Yeah, I've also seen like, yeah, hospitals sometimes have them. I'm really sad. There was this really, I mean, I think it's now affordable housing, so that's important, but I remember it was a little center down in Eastern Portland. They had a holiday bazaar, and it was really cool because it actually kind of felt like a convention, despite it just being a holiday bazaar. But yeah, so definitely. Alright. Oh yeah, I wanted to like go through and just show my older tables. I definitely did not start with a full like table setup. And let me see if I can pull this up. This is gonna be a little tricky. Alright, we're gonna have to move a few things around. Alright. Oh, hey, the poll is here. 50% of you have said yes to go to a convention. Alright, awesome. So, a little bit of a mixture of both. Alright, pulling up the image files. Alright, I put this in like Flip Studio, which is my drawing program. And let's see if it behaves. Alright, I guess you can't really see that, but yeah, no, this was one of my first tables. This Comic-Con doesn't exist anymore, but it was tiny. I mean, it wasn't tiny, it was actually pretty big, but it wasn't like compared to most conventions, and it took place in like the fairgrounds building. Yeah, I had my displays. I got these from Clear Displays. I was pretty happy with these. Let me zoom in a little bit more. But yeah, I just had my stickers. So, I mean, yeah, I did not have a lot of merch. I mostly did prints, and which is interesting because at the end of the day, I still did prints, but it was more cohesive. As you can see, oh yeah, I have a $1 comic zine. Oh, I miss zines. I definitely have plans to make more. $2 mini prints. Oh my goodness, I was really underselling myself. Wow. My table is way more colorful. Thanks. Yeah, it's funny. I still have the same tablecloth, and yeah, like the same displays, the sticker displays. But yeah, I added a bit of more splash of color ever since. You have the cat and crystals prints. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's a classic. OG spicy art. And let me see if I can pull up my next one. Alright, as you can see, it says SpycyShark. I did not have a custom banner. This is one that, like, it already came with. This was at Rose City Comic Con. I'd have a table. I split it with a friend from school. And, yeah, okay. Small prints, $5. Alright, I moved up a little bit. No longer $2. Cat crystal's still there. Man, this possum, it's still a good seller. It's one of the originals as well. Same thing, you can't really see this one, but this is the I'm Still Alive possum. But yeah, as you can see, it's like a mixture of like animal art and then human art. So I was still trying to figure out my audience. The vinyl stickers? Oh yeah, we got the vinyl stickers here. It looks like a sign. Wait, hold on. Who or you would give a panel on banking? Yeah. Yeah, so I definitely recommend getting a sign for yourself if you're thinking of doing this in the long run, because it definitely helps do this. This is such a great idea. Oh, hey, Joyful Star. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Just going through my old my old tables. But yeah, yeah, definitely these clear display things, I love them. They're great. They're not like cheap, but they've lasted me for a while. And I think, all right. So, and then this was at BLFC. I think this was BLFC. Let me have a think. Might have been 2022? Is that really just last year? Yeah, I think so. BLFC, so that's a convention in Reno. Yeah. As you can probably see, the colors have changed significantly. Still got the trusty old tablecloth though. This sign is technically old. I do love the shark though. I do love the shark. I'm planning on redrawing it. But then I have way more like larger prints, and yeah, despite the fact that I mostly sold prints, it was still pretty lucrative because the price of making prints is not much. But I have noticed that after a while, people enjoy more variety, and I was like at the point that I was like, but one of my biggest like crossroads was, alright, I was just sitting at in front of a website and being like, okay, should I order all this extra merch or not? And I was like, it's not cheap, and it's a lot of stuff that's gonna hang out in my house. And also, I have no idea how ethically they're made, because at this point this was like overseas stuff, because I've made all my stuff either by myself or have hired people, like outsourced to companies, but still in the United States. And I know sometimes the labor laws get a little like suspicious. So I don't know, it came with like a moral dilemma and then like a price dilemma. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can keep just selling prints and stickers and other little things that I can make here. But it stopped being sustainable for me, unfortunately. Now, this doesn't mean that it won't be sustainable for you if you decide to go this route. This was just for me, and I think one of my things is that I have a hard time specializing in things because I like trying a bunch of different like art, and I think having too much variety can sometimes be a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to say confusing, but I don't know, overwhelming. There we go. And then for my last table, oh, that's me. I didn't realize I had my face on there. But yes, that's more or less how I look like. But yeah, so at this point I had my banner here. I'm kind of sad I didn't utilize it as much, but it was really nifty because I could just put it on there, whereas the other one I had to like clip on. They call these table runners. Highly recommend them. And yeah, as you can see, it's mostly, I got some canvas prints made. And those were a hit and miss for selling, but when they did sell, oh my goodness, it's pretty nice. Face! Yeah, I mean barely. I'm like wearing my mask. They. But yeah, so that is the tables, and I have a think here. Doop. Let's see. Where did my other one? So yeah, I also wanted to share some interesting convention horror stories. So, well, let me take a sip of water first. One thing I learned was for applying to conventions was use a credit card instead of a debit card when you pay for your table, because one time I signed up for this convention, everything was looking good, alright, I paid for my table, it was happening like time passed and it was happening next week, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I get an email being like, oh, the convention is not happening anymore due to some difficulties. And they were like, I don't even think they said I could get a refund, because I think this was like, I went onto Facebook to see if anybody else had anything to say about this, and everyone was like, if you have a credit card, get your refunds now. If you have a debit card, try, but you might not get your money back. And a lot of people didn't get their money back. So it's way easier to get your money back with a credit card if something goes wrong. Apparently not so much with a debit card. So I said goodbye to that. I think it was like $100. Like, it sucked to say goodbye to $100. but it didn't completely break me. But that is something to keep in mind, especially now that tables can be like $300 to $500. And the thing is, like, this convention, it happened like they had it for like, I want to say 3 years maybe, and then out of the blue there was some like intense drama that happened, and they decided to just shut it down. So yeah, that was very sketchy. It would be super cool if this was a multiple artists, maybe virtual booths in Discord or Zoom. I don't know something. Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. Yeah, CozyCon does this. If you ever want to check it out, I'll just I'll type it in too. Let me see. CozyCon. And I think like it's just like cozycon.com. Yeah, definitely, like, yeah, I recommend checking it out. For me, since I'm a one-person thing, it's a little hard to wrangle everybody, but maybe in the future, I don't know. Get more artist streamer friends, eh? Banks always try harder to get their money back than they do to get yours back, since CCS technically uses banks' money. Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, that definitely is unfortunate. So yeah, that sucked. It was a hard lesson to learn with signing up for conventions. So yeah, no matter how reputable they seem, still proceed with caution. There was another convention that I went to, and that one too, everyone was like, it's gonna be awesome, like I've made so much at this convention, like definitely go there. And for some reason, maybe I just have bad luck, but for some reason that was the year that they like did no advertising for the conventions and for the convention, and there's very like poor signage in the convention area, and there was like no security either, like nobody was checking badges or anything, and I think I made $700, but like my plane ticket and everything was like, it was at least $1,500. So I definitely went in the red for that one. Or, yeah, is that what they say? Yeah. So it was very disappointing to say the least. So definitely have some like like that would, like, see, some of these are just hard to predict, I guess, because like even like super well-known artists did not so well there just because it was just so badly advertised. So, I don't know, I guess, for lack of a better term, stuff happens. What? Never heard of this. I've been looking for more things like FrogCon or Short Box Fair. Oh, I haven't heard of any of those. Oh yeah, and CozyCon is mostly a furry convention, just a heads up, if that's not your cup of tea. But yes, there are more virtual conventions. I'm sure, yeah, if you Google virtual conventions, quite a few will pop up, because I think especially with COVID, more folks stepped up and started doing these cool community events. Let me see. At this point, oh, it's only been like half an hour. I was like, I've never run a panel at a convention. Like, public speaking is not my thing, but since I was like, oh, I could stream this, and I have a little bit of practice on stream, so I was like, let's try this. Yeah, if anybody wants to add anything. Oh yeah, furries. Yeah. Yeah, I have my shop. Oh, and that coupon code, it's gonna be all weekend. It will expire, I think, Sunday at the end of the day, so like right before midnight. Just like a little heads up. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill for a bit. I'm gonna like try to see if there's anything else I missed. I kind of like sped through that a little faster than I expected. Is that Pacific time? Yes, good question. yeah, I never like explained why I decided to cut down on conventions. I haven't like really officially announced this yet. I think I mentioned it very briefly on one of my first streams. So as you mentioned from some of the cons, I've talked about cons, is that well, not only did I start getting more panic attacks, but also just I feel like, I don't know, post-COVID, I mean like it's still COVID time, but like after getting COVID itself, it just I don't know, I became way more exhausted. So, and then also with the price of travel going up, it was really hard to compete with making the money at the same time. So this is not to discourage anybody from trying. This is just my personal experience, and especially if you have like a really solid audience, they will likely seek you out. Whereas like I definitely have a smaller audience. It's definitely grown since my last convention, but at the moment, yeah, my current energy levels aren't sustainable for still doing conventions. And then like another tricky risk you have to deal with is if you get sick right before the convention. Like say you paid for a plane ticket and dropped your hotel deposit, and then like also bought the table fees and the membership fees. It is like, you know, that's a lot of money that you're gonna say goodbye to. So yeah, it just became way too big of a risk for me. And yeah, like I said, if I mean, sticking to local conventions, especially if you live in a already big city or near a big city, that is a huge advantage. Like I remember talking to folks from Chicago, because they are so central to the rest of the United States, it was really easy for them to get affordable flights. Whereas like I live on the West Coast and there are fewer conventions here, so if I want to branch out, like flying all the way to the East Coast or the South was very pricey, and so unfortunately that was too big of a risk. But yeah, currently my goals are more just to like do YouTube and like have just more chill vibes. I don't know, just share more information based on my experiences, and then do tiny little events like these, and hopefully maybe expand, but I have to do some networking for that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming to the streams. Yeah, this is like, I guess, yeah, this, like I said, this ran a little shorter than I expected, but I appreciate everything, and I will likely... Ooh, wait. Are there any key things you look for when applying to cons that either make or break you from going red flags or green flags that make sense? My brain is mush. Oh, this is a very good question. Okay. Well, yeah, because like I said, sometimes just like really unpredictable stuff happens, but yeah, green flags. Oh, I look at attendance. So, and this one's a hard one to gauge too, because there could be some that, or how about this, like, there was a convention that I sold at that I think had, let me think. I think it had like 18,000 people. And I made the same as a convention that had either like 5,000 to 7,000 attendees. So sometimes it's really hard. I think definitely like try to gauge what your niche is, I guess, because I think because my art is more like, I don't know, I guess SFW-ish and stuff, and this was a all ages convention that like heavily catered to younger furries, I think that's why I probably did better. Whereas the other one was more like, I don't know, adult oriented. And so yeah, definitely like look at what kind of audience is going to be there, because even within like the niche of like, say example, the furry fandom, it can still be like a little bit different. On the flip side, I mean, there was like another convention that I applied to, but unfortunately COVID happened and I had to cancel, but it was a 18 plus furry convention, but just like, it was just 18 plus because they just didn't want to deal with, well, actually, I don't know the reasoning, but it wasn't necessarily like, oh, this is specifically a not safe for work con. It was just like, oh, you just have to be 18. And on one side, I would think that, I mean, adults have money, so there would be more customers, more paying customers. On the flip side, I don't know. kiddos also have parents' money in some cases. So yeah, that one's one. I definitely pay attention to attendance. If it's like a tiny convention in like, I don't know, just in the middle of nowhere, I probably would stay away from it, especially if I have to like put a lot of money towards travel. That would be a red flag for me. For me personally, obviously to the locals it would not be a red flag. Green flags. Gonna like sit and think for a second. My brain is mush as well. Although for different reasons, probably. Oh, I guess how... I totally forgot about this aspect. How conventions treat their vendors. Because, like... this was one thing I really liked about furry conventions that I totally forgot about. Some furry conventions, they give you, like, meal vouchers, or, like, sometimes they come around and, like, give you water and stuff. For anime cons and Comic Cons, sometimes they're just like too big and they don't do that. And not necessarily like that's a red flag on their part, but it's definitely a bonus for those furry conventions that do treat... I mean, there was one convention, I didn't go to this one, but they even gave their vendors a lunch break, which I thought that was like awesome, because more often than not, you're just kind of sitting at the table and sometimes you like hide behind your table and you're like, I'm eating, and then like someone shows up and you're like, oh no, I need to attend to people. So yeah, if you, oh my goodness, yeah, if you can get a lunch break, that is a huge green flag. Alright. What do you find are your best sellers? Stickers, prints, others? Do you find it vary from con to con? Ooh, oh my goodness. So, yes, this is like a frustrating... I don't even know if you can call it a science to figure out, because... oh my goodness. So, like, sometimes there's something that just doesn't sell. Like, it's in your shop and you're like, oh, no one's buying it. You go to some conventions and nobody's buying it, and then all of a sudden you go to this one convention and you sell out. Or something, or even worse, like, you're like, well, nobody's buying this, so I'm not going to bring a lot of it, and you sell out. So, yes, that is tricky. But for me, overall, I don't have my stats off the top of my head, but, oh, this is so... I think what makes me the most money is my big prints, but it's less volume. But because they cost more, I make more from them. Stickers are very popular. They are very popular, especially if you have a like buy 3 get a discount off. Same thing with my mini prints as well. People will definitely take advantage of that, and I think it's a good way to also clear out inventory a little bit faster. How often would you say you rotate out retire merch you sell? So if it doesn't sell and like it's been a lot, I don't know. Yeah, if it doesn't sell, I definitely try to get rid of it as soon as possible. If it stops matching my style or my general vibe, I also retire it. Also, if I get sick of it. There was this like succulent that did so well, like on Etsy and everything. But because back then I used to make my own stickers, I got sick of making it. So eventually, yes, I dropped it. I remember asking this question on a Artist Alley Discord, and yeah, a lot of the people were like, if you are tired of it, get rid of it, even if it's a bestseller. So sometimes, yeah, and then those ones tricky, like, yeah, well, do you choose money or your sanity? But yeah, I definitely have kept like some really old classics. Like I said, the two old possum designs are still, but I'm like, well, my brand is still possum, so, and they sell very well, and I do love them dearly, so I kept those around for sure. Do you have a list of items you like to have on hand with tape blank? Ooh, yeah. All right. Hand sanitizer, napkins, single-use cutlery. Ooh, I didn't even think about the single-use cutlery. Let me see if I can pull out one of my old packing lists. Oh no. Give me a second. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Oh, I made a sale. Well, thank you to whoever did that, if you're by chance there in the audience. Oh, another one. Thank you! I appreciate y'all. Listen to the smooth jazz. Workspit apparently burned his hand? Oh no! What? Wait! Oh my goodness. I'm too gullible with you, Catmint. Howdy. Oh my goodness. Question to y'all. Apologies if I'm just like pointing y'all out. But Catmint and Orcspit, any of you plan on having an icon? Because it always trips me up since you're both green and like O-shaped. Enough with the smooth jazz. Where's the rough jazz? Oh my goodness, what would rough jazz be? Okay, so I found my list. It is very intense. That's most importantly a square reader, an iPhone charger. I mean that's what I have. A phone charger. Your cash bag or cash box. Oh, that's another thing. You have to be very careful with keeping where you keep your cash. Make sure nobody can grab it or anything. I bring headphones just in case. Like sometimes I can take a break and just like try to shut off noise. Same thing with what do you call them? Not headphones. The things that make sound go away. Are they earbuds? Well, anyway. Let's see. A water bottle. Oh my goodness, a water bottle always. That's so important. Stay hydrated. Also chapstick. Oh, and your lanyard. So I started bringing my own lanyard because sometimes they hand out free lanyards, but sometimes they're a little scratchy. Since you have to keep your vendor badge at all time to make sure that you're not just like sneaking in. So yeah, I just bought a lanyard. I bought it at a convention, which is very handy. And yeah, it's my go-to lanyard because it is comfortable. And then yeah, for like more technical stuff, I always bring paper bags. I used to carry cellophane bags, but I was like, they're not very eco-friendly. So paper bags for putting prints in, as well as stickers and other little things. Oh, I always pack my fairy lights too. That's because that's part of my display. Oh, a mallet, because if you have to like construct your display, a mallet is handy and it's not too intense like a hammer. And they usually don't weigh as much too. Oh, and something cool I found was, I got this idea from a different vendor, was that like at the end of the day, when you close up your shop, and if it's like a multiple day event, bringing, what do they call it? Tulle? It's like Tulle. It's what they use for like clothing. It's like, I'm totally spacing. Catmint, help me out. I know you're the materials person, but it's a good cover because it's not as heavy as a sheet, but it also keeps a lot of dust off of your merchandise. Packing tape. Always packing tape, because I have so many boxes that I open and then I have to pack them back up when we're done. Oh, and if you can have something like squishy to sit on, because sometimes the chairs that they give you aren't very comfortable. Oh, and battery chargers. Battery chargers are good. So that's pretty much it, other than like if we get really specifics with like all the merchandise. Earplugs, yeah. Alright. Can I use the Pippi icon you made me? Of course, yeah. If I ever make you art, and this goes for everybody, yeah, feel free to use it as an icon, like, it's yours. I'll slap credit everywhere. Thank you. This account is the account I used to stream on, and I've just never updated. Oh yeah, yeah. Don't sweat. I was like, I mean, honestly, if Catbit just changes theirs, then I'll be like, okay, I know which one's which. And also, like, no pressure. I'm just whinging. I should just pay some friendly possum to draw me an orc icon. Hey. Chiffon. You said it right. Tool. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I was like, wait, is chiffon a dessert thing? I'm totally fabric mesh netting stuffs. Yeah, that's the stuff. Take the shotgun approach to statistically one of us has the answer. Right? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for your questions. Those were, yeah, I was like, oh, that didn't even occur to me. And that will definitely help for a future video to have more information. Because like sometimes I'm like, I don't know what people want to hear. It's been too long. Chiffon is similar, but finer and more slippy. Slippy? Rough jazz. Oh wow, we're up to 60% on folks who have done whatchamacallit, conventions. I'm definitely gonna try to still do more convention vlogs, but definitely not from the seller perspective. I've only been to one convention for fun, and it was a pretty small convention. So I don't feel like it was quite the full-on convention experience, but it was still very exhausting. It's very clear that I'm not an extrovert. Easily get exhausted. I'm trying to think of any more like red or green flags, but I think I might have. That was all I had for now. But let me think. Oh, right. Some conventions don't give you a table. You have to pay for it. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Also, some conventions don't make you go to security as a vendor, but some do. So if you are like right on time, you can be late because you have to go through a long line of security. Slightly related, would you ever consider cosplaying at a con? I've thought about it. I would always jokingly think of couple cosplay ideas with Bandito, but never anything because neither of us really sew. But I don't know. I mean, that'd be a cool project too. I believe the dessert is named after the cloth that's older than 1926. Okay. Oh yeah, and then in some cases, I totally forgot. For travel, I personally use, if I have to fly somewhere, I use Southwest because they have they have quote-unquote free checked bags. So if you're carrying a lot of merch, I think they give you, is it just one checked bag or two checked bags? You remember Bandito? But either way, because I would travel with Bandito, I could take advantage of all the free, well, not all the free checked bags, but enough of checked bags that it was all my merchandise. Some people, if they're very worried about losing their merchandise, I've heard use things like air tags. I am very unfamiliar with them, but it's a way you can kind of track where your stuff is, because there are some not so fun incidents when you either get your luggage delayed or it's just completely lost, and that could totally ruin a convention. Not paid by Southwest, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I use. Some people drive. For me, driving, like, first of all, Bandito and I hate driving. And it just didn't justify the wear and tear on our car. So, yeah. But if you love driving, I mean, go for it. And especially if you could just, like, speed through and you don't have to, like, pay for a hotel halfway through, it might be worth more. And then you can actually carry as much stuff, well, as your car can fit. Was there anything else? I feel like I had something on my mind and then I totally spaced out. I'm also very introverted, so when someone comes up, how do you strike conversation? So like one of my go-tos is like, oh, how's your, I don't know, convention going? Or how's your day going? Or just like little remarks on like, or sometimes if they're wearing a cool cosplay or something, like point that out and be like, oh, I love this, or they're wearing something cool. And in some cases, I can be like, oh, where'd you get that? And then they'll like tell me, they're like, oh, it's a vendor from here. And I'm like, oh, okay, then I can go check them out. Yeah, just like, I guess that's just small talk. Something like, well, especially with masks being more normal, I guess this is less relevant, but a cool trick I learned in therapy out of all places was that instead of having, because I would force a smile a lot, and it like, at the end of like an event, my face would like, it would hurt because I would just be like, just forcing a smile all the time. But something I learned is that you just like lift like the little like corners of your lip instead, and it's way less strain muscle wise, and then it can like still come off as a very casual smile, and it's probably like less aggressive. And I think it also like mentally kind of like calms you down a little bit. How long have you been vending? Because yes, I was very curious. Because I've seen a few of your like TikToks that show that you've been like doing events. That's really cool. Maybe one day I should try to like stop by. By the way, Catman, are you thinking of getting back into cosplaying? Hence that question. Legit started this year. Ooh, that's exciting. Well, congratulations. I mean, you started like right off the bat, like several events. Not no. Honestly, a more realistic portrayal of me behind this table would be with like a giant like bottle of water and some coffee. that was the combo. Always coffee. Not gonna lie, sometimes I'm like, that cosplay would be awesome for Spicy. I'm like, I mean, honestly, what has another thing that's made like cosplay kind of hard, especially ones that it's like you're not wearing a mask or anything, is the makeup. I've like never learned how to do makeup, and then like the folks that I do know that can do makeup or would like potentially help usually have way lighter skin than me, so it doesn't look the same or like have very different face shape than me. So that was my biggest struggle, and I'm just like, I'm too lazy to go learn how to make my own makeup for my skin tone. That's why I just wear a mask. Easy peasy. Working on planning a trip down to Oregon/Washington to go to a larger con, maybe next year or the year after. I really want to go to a large one, and those aren't closest to me. Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be really exciting. Yeah, there's so much to do, and yeah, definitely, I mean, I'm a little biased, but yes, Oregon and Washington I think are fun places to go. Especially, well, that's what I loved about Anthro Northwest, is that always good coffee, always good food within walking distance. Oh yeah, okay, that reminds me, for like kind of a red flag for selling at a convention. Is it a food desert? that it complicates things. I have definitely gone to conventions that were food deserts, because I would stay at the hotel there, and whew, it like made things a little complicated. Food was very overpriced, if we had to like get it Ubered in or something. Like not the end of the world, but just something to consider. It definitely like didn't completely like deter me from going to said conventions, but it definitely like I had to prepare for it being more spendy. Alright, I'm thinking of closing it up in like 4 minutes, make it a full hour. Or I guess I have been streaming for an hour, but I feel like the getting ready screen took a little bit longer. But yeah, any last questions, comments, let me know. Oh, and as usual, I feel like most people on this in this conversation already know, but I do have a Discord, so any conversations can also be continued there as well. Let me see if I can find the command. Let's see. Discord. Come on, Nightbot. Okay. Well, maybe not. Hey, there it goes, there it goes. Oh, I also still have that Yeech available. The Your Character Here. That is also in my shop. I don't know if I mentioned this. Yeah, the discount things, the coupon code is just for physical items, not service items like Your Characters Here / commissions. Also, Patreons get an extra, let's get a special 40% off coupon. If you are a Patreon and haven't checked that out and are interested, yeah, be sure to apply that coupon. Nightbot just had to cook for a little bit. Yeah. When is Spicy gonna have a late night show with this layout? A late night show with my shop, be like, alright, it's nighttime, and welcome. I also have all my merch right next to me. I don't know, like a cool like talk show, like kind of podcast thing, that would be fun. Yeah. Shopping after dark. Guests on SpycyCast. SpycyCast! I love that. I have to use that if we can get this going. Right? It's so adorable. Hi, Bandit Cat. This isn't about selling at conventions, but more selling online. I just recently started posting my art, and I was wondering if you had any advice. And I'm Oh, what? It cuts out, sorry. In beginning to sell art, such as advertising tips. Let me see. So, I mean, if you have social media, definitely that helps. I've seen a lot of people do more advertising on TikTok, just make little short videos being like, this is my product. I should probably do that more. But because it doesn't seem to work. So, yeah, I would recommend that. I should follow my own advice. I guess I kind of keep a schedule on how often you advertise, so then you don't feel like you're advertising too much or too little on social media. Some people start, I mean, I guess I started on Etsy, and Etsy, depending how you are able to play it, you can end up on like front pages or front searches. which can help boost your sales a lot. Unfortunately, Etsy does have a lot of like kind of hidden fees, so it's a bit of a gamble. Also, I'm trying to think what kind of like I personally use Squarespace for e-commerce. Ooh, it'd be so great to be sponsored by them. But I've heard of like Big Cartel. I think you can list up to 5 items for free. Shopify exists too. Oh, and Ko-fi as well. I think Ko-fi's pretty cool because they only take a fee if you sell stuff, whereas like you don't have to pay it up front. So like if nothing sells, you're not like, well, I just lost like X many dollars. So definitely, like, I guess find your platform of choice. Try to weigh in, like, does it, because I guess if it's a marketplace like Etsy, is it worth them potentially advertising, but not really advertising, because it really depends on your search engine optimization, whether it's worth it for you or not. And then sometimes, I mean, if you can handle it, maybe have a shop on like 2 different sites, maybe one that is a marketplace and one that isn't. So yeah, that's just my advice. But yeah, congrats on starting that. Also, print-on-demand sites as well. I know there's a big debacle with Redbubble, and like Society6 takes a lot. There is InPrint, which I use, and let me see if I can type that in. Inprint.com. It is a invite website, but it's really, or it's not just invite only. You either get invited or you can apply. It's not that hard to get in. I was like really worried when I applied. I was like, oh no, nobody's gonna like me. But they have all their users. It's like this big list, and people can just go and be like, oh yeah, I vouch for them. So it's not that hard. It just takes a couple hours sometimes for you to get approved. So yeah. How do you build a social media following? Because I don't know. I really struggle with this too. I've been on the internet for like so long, but I think like my biggest problem would be that I don't practice consistency. So it's the whole like, what is it? So yeah, I guess I know you hear like with a lot of like, ooh, social media guru stuff. It's like, be consistent. And I feel like there's truth to that, but like I feel like there's missing a couple things. Like number one of my mistakes I did was that I diversified too much. I don't necessarily regret it because I feel like I learned a lot, but if you're like, okay, I only do like this kind of art, and then you just like start posting, I feel like it's less overwhelming for like new people to be like, well, I don't know, that they can expect what you're gonna make, if that makes any sense. And because but then like try to like, I did do a social media video, try to like see like, oh, how long does this website, the social media keep my stuff up? Because like with TikTok, they're like, okay, we're gonna show, I don't know, let's just say 1,000 people all at the same time in these like 10 minutes. And if it does well, awesome. And if it doesn't, well, too bad. And then like after that, like those couple minutes are over, your video is just not really shown ever again. So I'm like, is that worth it to you? Whereas like I really like Tumblr because it's really easy to just reblog your old stuff. So you're not limited to just being like, oh, this is the one time I posted it and now I can never really get any traction on it ever again. And so, yeah, I personally love Tumblr because then you can use tags and stuff like that. So yeah, let me see if I can link that video. I don't know if I can. But yeah, no, it's not an easy thing for me personally to get a lot of followers, because I think the highest amount of followers I have is over 5,000 on Tumblr, but like on other websites it could be like 200. Alright, let's see if this works. Nope, that did not copy that. Let's see. Social media video. Marketplaces like Etsy are also pretty big scam phishing targets, so just make sure you're extra aware of online safety, such as always. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, luckily they can't like destroy your account. But yeah, I've definitely gotten a weird email. One of the most popular scams I've gotten was, it's like written very strange. It's like, I am trying to buy something for my wife. My wife has been looking at your website. Please tell me how expensive your paintings are. I will write a check for $1,000. And that's like, no. Also, with Etsy's policies, if anybody ever approaches you using like the Etsy conversation app to be like, oh, I want to buy something, you can't be like, okay, well, go buy it on my website, because that goes against their community terms. Any sale that is like propositioned through Etsy has to be made on Etsy, so just something to be careful of. The current CEO of Etsy said that he wanted Etsy to be a rival to Amazon, which bites for sellers. Oh, 100%, because everybody expects like 2-day shipping and everything like that, and thinks, yeah, you just don't get a lot of money out of it. What do you think is the best social media to get an audience for artists? I would say Tumblr. I'm actually having a pretty good success with Mastodon. As far as instances, I know there's like mastodon.art. And yeah, using tags actually works with that. For me, using hashtag furry art, hashtag digital art, it has made things, how do you say, reachable for me. I found myself growing on TikTok by interacting with other artists a lot, by supporting each other and being friendly. Yeah. Like talking to other people is very important. I've like kind of slacked on that lately, so I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, no, it is very important. Depending on the platform you're on, the follower count can mean wildly different things. On some site, 5k is a ton, and others is not much at all. Go to Fediverse. Yeah, so, yeah, for example, like, yeah, my Instagram account, it has over 1,000 followers, but that number keeps going up and down, and as far as, like, interactions, it's like 1%, maybe like 0.5%, so that's not very good, personally. So yeah, just like be sure to like try things, and if it's like, oh, this is going really well for me, I say go for it. But if you're like, this is not working as well as this other site, maybe just like stick to the other site. Don't spread yourself too thin. Whoops. I just realized I bought from you at a con before, recognized 2 of the stickers in your shop, and I have on stuff. Ah, thank you so much! That's awesome! Welcome! Hello through the virtual world. Man, that nerdy Mastodon stuff is confusing. How do you even make an account and being in a community? Oh, I actually made a video for that too. Unfortunately, I made it into a short, which like was not good for, like, I don't feel like a lot of people saw it because of the format, but let me see. Oh no, it doesn't let me link it. Hold on. Why is it being like this? Oh wait, I can go over here. That makes it easier. But yeah, I 100% vouch for Mastodon. I too was like, I don't know, it seems like kind of complicated. I don't know if I vibe with this, but once I was able to get in, I was like, oh, this is 100% worth it, and it's way stressful. There aren't any ads. Like, if you apparently instead of retweet, it's retoot or boost. If you boost your own posts, it's like not that big. It's not like you get punished for it like you do on old Twitter. Mastodon vid. It's there, we swear. Alright, so we've been live for over an hour. I think I'm gonna start closing it off. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is my first Just Chatting stream. I didn't know what to expect, so thank you for being so cool and chill and asking questions. I really, really appreciate it. I also try to find artists local to me via Instagram, but when I randomly found a Spicy video, I stuck around to watch when I realized we're in the same state, lol. Also helps finding cons and markets. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that coincidentally. I mean, like, yeah, I became friends with Catmint because of their streams, so... so yeah, networking could do so much. Heart toodles. Okay, bye, Bandito. I'll see you later. Thank you for being so cool. Thank you so much. You're too sweet. Well, great stream. Thank you so much. Yeah, and if anything wants to be further discussed, feel free to hit up the Discord. I'm always happy to answer questions there. All right, take care.